likes it so far. I don't know if these kids are learning anything right now, to be honest with you. Don't have any homework, which I so appreciate. I make my mom do all the reading and stuff with him, and I'm usually working at night, so that's a good time for her to do it. But he comes home a lot with art pages that they've clearly colored or drawn, or word searches. So I honestly don't know what's going on at school. And we're not even allowed in. Can't go in. Isn't it just so strange? Anyway, let's hope it's all over shortly. Do you guys have any requests today? We are going to just roll our hands and our feet. So just our hands and our feet today. It doesn't take long at all, but it feels amazing. And then please have water at any time that you want it. But does anybody need anything specific today?
Upper back.
Upper back, yeah, good, okay. We'll throw in some of that stuff. So we have about 3 minutes. You guys can continue to chit chat if you want. I'll close things up a bit.
Are you live streaming this?
I am not.
I saw that, put an iPad in.
Yes, I'm not. My boss is.
Oh. So your boss is doing yoga?
Also, we'll be able to find you on their little,
Maybe.
website.
I'm not sure if that was what that was for or what.
I did do one of those.
I hope it can hear me over the music. I don't play it super loud, but.
No, I did what was it? It was a Pilates mat. And it wasn't very long, because I just thought, well, I'll just try something. But it wasn't, like, it
Your
wasn't
friend said it.
much. It was very,
Your friend
I think it can see
and
you.
I haven't
I
got
don't
back
know.
on it.
I can see
They
you.
do
Oh,
have
okay, you
more
can
stuff
see.
now.
That's it, I haven't signed up.
Oh, just me then. Oh, okay, so maybe it is just for the purpose of putting it
You
on.
have to sign up for the.
You gotta log in.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm gonna
it's
close this
free,
up real
but
quick.
You do have to kind of sign up, and, I don't know, they should have sent you an email with the site a while back now. That's probably
Yeah, it's
been.
been a while.
If it's
Probably been
something
almost a
that-
month
But
now.
it's not live at a specific time. It's
It
when
is
it's on.
live, and it can
Oh,
be,
okay.
it can be, but then you can go back and,
That archives some of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
And so they do the same thing at Moto, or it has a new name now, but I have a hard time calling it anything else. But they do the same thing at the Hot Yoga Studio when they do their virtual. But I asked one of the teachers if they get a lot of people, and she said, oh yeah, a ton, but not at the time that it's scheduled.
Right.
So she might get like 5 or 6 people that are actually like doing live there, not in person, but on the. But then later you can view it for like 48 hours or something. So. Okay, you guys, we've got 1 minute, and I don't know if anybody else will come in after we begin, but let's go ahead and lie down into Shavasana. So taking your first position here, your first couple minutes just to arrive in class. I'll get the music on here. But spread out long and wide. Take up lots of space here. You can come off your mat too. You don't have to stay to the 4 corners. And just let your baby toes fall open and your inner thighs rotate up towards the ceiling. Shine your palms up towards the sky. And just for now, your effortless breath. So the breath that you have been breathing all morning. Don't change anything or manipulate it, just that. So letting your body sink into the ground. Remember that you are supported here by this yogi community, also by the earth. This next 60 minutes is yours, so feel free to add in, change up, grow, expand in any way. Leave out, just lay here for 60 minutes and breathe. That's okay too. And then when and if you're ready, if you've settled in, then you can begin to deepen your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Good, so maybe your Ujjayi breath, that's the sound you make in the back of the throat, as if you're trying to fog up the air with your mouth closed. So bring some mindfulness into your practice. A little heat for the body. Soften all the muscles from head to toe. And as you scan the body from top to bottom, notice any places that need extra attention today, extra compassion, maybe something chronic or something acute. You will see in the world what you carry in your heart. So as you go about your day, kind of keep that in mind. What are you seeing? That would be what you are feeling. And you can change it at any time. Get 2 blocks. Just a few deeper breaths here. One cleansing breath here together today. So deep inhale through the nose, feel your low back lift as your belly rises. That expansion across the chest, the collarbones, the ribs splay apart. Pause, hold your breath at the top for 3 counts. Take in one more sip at the top. Biggest exhale, let it go. Good, now after that exhale, you might notice some sensations in your body, like the temperature of the air on your skin, the weight of the clothes on the body, or just some tingling or pulsing. Any sensation is good. It means we are still alive. And then let's bring some small, gentle movements into the body. So you can wiggle the fingers and toes. Just really stretch between the webbing. You might turn your head from side to side to let it be easy, massaging the muscles in the back of the skull. Just kind of checking in. What is your range of motion on the right side and on the left side with your neck? Maybe the ridge of the ear can touch the ground. Get 2 blocks if you're just coming in. Good, and circling through the wrists and the ankles if you haven't yet, and really just oiling up your joints here. So really start to feel that warmth. Full, thorough circle. Good, and then we'll bring the heels to touch at the bottom of the mat. Reach your arms up and overhead for Tadasana, reaching into greatness. So the tallest version of you on this day. Ribs are open, low back is lifted, spread your fingers, sparking light, flex your feet. Feeling that stretch out of your shoulders, out of your hips. It might be your first one today. Starting to open up the muscles we use to breathe. From here, we'll grab onto our left wrist with right hand. Guide your body up and over to the right side. So we're going to make this crescent moon shape you see in the sky. So if you're ready, you can bring the legs to the right side. It's a little early for a bind, but if you want one, and you know you like that deeper stretch, left ankle over right. What we're really trying to do is find some space here in our left side. Maintaining that slow, steady, even breath. You can use your right hand to pull on that left side with each inhale, looking for length. And then softening with each exhale. Let's slowly unbind, unwind, come back through center and pause. Just release any grips. Notice the difference between left and right. Maybe the left leg feels longer than the right side. And then we'll go to the other side. So grabbing onto right wrist with left hand. Let's guide the body up and over. You gotta lift your head up and then you can set it back down. Let it be really heavy. Bring the legs if you're ready, or feel free to just stay with the upper body over. If you want the bind here, it's right ankle over left. Just closing that energetic loop in your body. Breathing deeply into the right side. Little space between your teeth. take 3 more rounds of breath, and with each inhale, you might pull yourself just a little longer. You can use your left hand to do that, or just think about it. With each exhale, just soften a bit. And then we'll come back through center, nice and easy. Hug your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze. But just a moment in your own embrace for making the commitment to your practice, for showing up. So the hardest part is already over, making it to your mat. And then if you like a little sway from side to side, that might feel nice across the low back. Just check in there. Because once you make your way just back through center, let's hold on to our right knee or shin, or underneath is fine too, and extend your left leg up towards the sky. Flex, point, and round. See about relaxing your shoulders here as you hug that right knee in just a little closer to the chest. And then flex the foot, and then let's lower it all the way down to a hover. So pulling the belly in, pressing your low back to the ground, reaching really long out of your left leg. When the heel touches the ground, that's your invitation to hug your right knee in a little closer. Press that right shoulder or underarm. And we'll take a half happy baby here. So you could let that be dropping your right knee into your right hand, use your right elbow as a kickstand. Or you can reach up for somewhere on that right leg. The knee is bent, the foot reaches up towards the sky, whatever's easiest to grab here. And you might let your left hand rest to your left hip just to hold it down. Feel that stretch into your hamstring, into your groin, maybe a little massage for that right side low back. Take one more big breath in. Big breath out. We'll find our spinal twist. So just guide your right knee up and over to the left. We won't be here too long, but you do want to feel good in these poses. So if you'd like to lift up your left hip and move it a couple inches to the right, please feel free. And then just take your gaze over that right arm. Left hand can stay to right thigh. Once you land into the pose, just notice if you're gripping or squeezing anywhere to hold the shape. Not important. You can soften a little bit into your bottom leg too, to release into the glutes, the hips. Just think about your right shoulder here. Can you guide it a little bit closer to the ground? All right, from here we'll make our way back onto our spine. And the right ankle is going to cross over that left thigh. So we're going to set up for our figure 4. So you guys all have blocks. Hopefully they're close enough by that you can reach off to the side and grab one. So try it today. It's really nice to have a block underneath your head while you do this figure 4. It's a lot easier for the upper body unless you have super long arms. And then you can reach through that window that you made. So reaching either over that left shin or underneath. Relax your shoulders back down. Slight tuck of the chin here. Think about hugging your left knee in as you guide your right knee away, maybe with the help of your right elbow. Nothing too serious yet, we're just still warming up. If you'd like a little rock from side to side there, that might feel good. When you rock to the left side, you're going to feel that deeper stretch into your right piriformis. So feel free to hold for a couple rounds of breath. Just using your breath anytime you meet resistance. Come back onto both right and left side sacrum, and then just bend and re-straighten your left knee a couple times, getting the blood flow to the back of the leg. Great, guys, we'll take a hip stretch here. And so that was one hip stretch. This is a different hip stretch. So take your block out from underneath. You can open your arms into a cactus position. With the legs as they are, just drop them to the right. So we have a quadriceps stretch, a psoas, a hip flexor stretch here. It is still a little bit of a spinal twist, so you may feel it in the back. And if the bind is too much with the right ankle over left thigh, go ahead and take it away. Think about drawing your knees towards the front of the room, getting that maximum length first. And then maybe that right heel presses down on your left thigh, just using it as an anchor. more full round of breath. And then slowly release the bind. Come back through center, hug both knees in. Pause there and just notice if the right side feels any closer to the chest than the left. And we'll get ready to even things up. So you can extend your right leg towards the sky, flex point round as you hug your left knee in, a little bit off to the side of the heart. Relax your shoulders. Think about lengthening your neck spine with a little tuck of your chin. And then flex that right foot. Let's lower the leg down. Bring it to a hover. Take your time. And then think about reaching even longer out of your right hip socket and pulling your left knee a little closer towards the left shoulder. Good. When the heel touches the ground, your invitation to hug that left knee in a little bit closer. And then we'll find that variation, whichever one you would like to do for our half happy baby. So either reaching up anywhere on the leg with the knee bent, you might go for the big toe or the outside of the foot, or you can just let your left knee fall into your left hand. Your left elbow can be your kickstand. And everybody take your right hand to your right hip. Just see if you can guide it down gently. We'll find our spinal twist. Guide your left knee up and over to the right. Feel free to lift your right hip, move over a couple inches to the left, just so you can drop in a little easier here to the right side. Right hand can stay to left thigh, or arms can go into a T. And you might gaze over the left. Breathe into your low back. One more deep inhale and a deeper exhale. Into our figure four. And so grab that block if you liked it. If you didn't need it, you don't need it. But if you liked it, take the block underneath your head. Just helps keep the shoulders relaxed as you reach through the legs, through that little window that you made. You're holding underneath your right knee or over the shin. Let your right foot relax. And straight away, if you want to rock a little bit from side to side so you feel equal there across the sacrum, feel free. And then just think about guiding your right knee in as you push your left knee away. So you can just think about it, pushing the knee away, kind of using your energetic ability there, or you can actually use your left elbow and push into the thigh a little bit. And now rocking from side to side, but this time just really noticing as you rock to the right, you might feel that deeper stretch into the left piriformis. So feel free to stay for a couple rounds of breath. If it's too intense, just keep moving. Find something that does work. We really don't want to suffer in any of these poses. A little discomfort is okay, but pain is not. Come back through center and just bend and re-straighten a couple times your right knee. Remembering that we all have strengths and weaknesses in our own body. Also that our balance and strength and flexibility is different every day. Good, now let's keep the legs the same. Release your block out from underneath of your head if you had it. Open your arms into a T on this side. And just let your legs drop as they are to the left. So as they are means there's an automatic bind with that left ankle over right thigh. And if it's too much, just release the bind. Think about reaching your knees towards the front of the room, maybe getting that deeper quadriceps stretch. You soften just a little bit. Take one more round of breath. Super. You guys release here. Just hug both knees back in. And maybe things seem about even. And so we did a half happy baby earlier, so we'll do a full now, and it might feel a little bit easier this time around. So go ahead, send both feet up towards the sky. You've all seen happy babies do this pose. Just pulling the knees down, a little bit push back up into your hands with whatever you're gripping. Press press your tailbone down. Look for the length in your spine in this pose. And then if you want to make it bigger, you can rock from side to side. If you want to make it even bigger than that, you can take your bow and arrow, extend one leg and then the other when you go to that side. So warming up into your inner thighs, just kind of see how they feel this morning. Just depending on what you've done this week or maybe already today. And then we'll take the soles of the feet together. Let's find supine butterfly pose. Just drop the feet to the ground. You plant your right hand over your belly and your left hand over your heart so that we can plant a seed of intention, whatever it is that you need most today. Before you settle in too much, just check in with your knees and your hips. If they feel pinched, send your feet further down the mat. So calling in whatever you need, and then we'll take a collective intention of gratitude and well-being for all. Let your knees get a little heavier, even if they never touch the ground. See if you can let gravity do the work. Good. Slowly start to bring your left knee through the center and just close it to the right like a book and roll all the way on your right side. Let your head catch your be caught in your arm, so the arm is supporting the weight of your head here. And just pause, notice the effects of your practice thus far. Guys, when you are ready, go ahead and come up into a comfortable seat. Let's do a few stretches here, and then we're going to use our tennis ball for our hands to work out any stiff connective tissue there. We'll also do our feet today, so just hands and feet. But for now, let's extend that right leg out to the side. Just put your left foot anywhere on that right leg that feels good to you. Easy twist to start. I could roll with you. Right hand to left knee, just get one. It's okay. I would have rolled it to you, or thrown it to you. Right hand, left knee. Just take your gaze over that left shoulder. Use your back hand to lift taller and not take a lot of weight back. You might close your eyes, or you might keep them open. Wherever the eyes go, the twist will follow. Good. Keep your twist and just bring your chin towards your right shoulder. So we have a neck stretch. So you'll just tuck your chin in towards your collarbone. Maybe it touches. It's not important if it does. Just keep your mouth closed. Feel that stretch into your trapezius. So this might be enough. If you want more, then you can make those small half moon shapes with the tip of your nose. So imagine the tip of your nose is like the paintbrush. Just keep them really small. We're just getting a little myofascial release here for our neck. So hydrating the tissue. Great, guys. And then just lift your head up nice and tall. We're going to keep that right hand to the left knee, but stack your left hand on top. You guys are going to lean to the leg that is lengthened out. So don't lean this way. Lean to the leg that is lengthened out, and you can just take your gaze over that right leg. That might feel nice for your neck too. So this is a big low back stretch. Make sure you can maintain your breath here. One more round. Great, and then we're going to fold over this right leg. So as you can tell, it's at an angle. So if it would feel good to you to use your left hand somewhere on the outside of your right leg, it might help turn that left rib cage and your belly button towards your right thigh. You can hold on or not. We're not going to stay very long, so it doesn't really matter how deep you go here. Just find a nice stretch and maintain your breath. And shake your head no and yes. Landing on a positive. Good, and then let's slowly bring ourselves all the way up. And we'll switch it up. So extend your left leg, pull your right foot somewhere there. Easy twist to start. Left hand, right thigh. And just take your right hand behind you. So if you feel like you're putting a lot of weight into your palm, you can spider tip your fingers back there too, or make a fist too. So be easy there, but you are getting a nice stretch for your hand, for your wrist. Just sit tall. you'll keep your twist and bring your chin towards your left shoulder. Just tuck it in. See how it feels on this side. So a place where we carry lots of stress and tension. Women mostly, but everyone. And then you can make those slow, small half moon shapes with the tip of your nose. Go slower than you want to. You can bring your head up nice and tall. Now we'll keep the left hand to right knee and just stack your right hand on top of the left. And then lean towards the leg that is lengthened. And if you want to take your gaze over the leg, I think that feels good. Anything else with your neck that feels good to you can do. Breathe into your lower back. All right, you guys, now that little twist or forward fold. If you want it to be more of a twist, start to center your belly button and your right rib cage. Just pull them towards that left leg. You can use your right hand to reach outside your left leg. Maybe the left hand is your kickstand behind you, just guiding you forward. You can just take an easy forward fold over that leg. Don't worry about the twist. Deep breaths in and out to the back of the leg, the hamstring, your calf, your Achilles here. Can you let your head be heavy? Open your mouth and take a big fake yawn. And then let's slowly bring ourselves all the way back up. Okay, from here, let's come over to all fours, but it's going to be really quick. So if you just want to cross over your ankles or get there for a moment, I just want you guys to feel into your hands. And so those of you who've done this with me before kind of know what you're feeling into. If you've never tried it, you will definitely feel a difference. So just kind of feel into your hands. Maybe they feel tired, maybe they feel achy or heavy, just depending, carpal tunnel, arthritis, anything else. And then come back over into a seat and go ahead and grab your tennis ball. And so you only need to spend 2 minutes. Maybe you could spend 10 if you wanted, but 2 is just as good as 10. So we're going to use our tennis ball, and all you're going to do, there's no rules, there's no right or wrong. You're just going to massage your hand with the ball. So each of us will have maybe a tender spot on your hand. For me, mostly it's here, but for others, it could be towards the bottom of the wrist or to the side. So while you do want pressure there, make sure if you find this spot that's tender, be a little bit easier there. Don't forget your fingers too. And there's no hurry. You're gonna be here for a couple minutes. So especially in yoga, just think about, you don't have one, sorry. Think about all the weight that you put onto your hands when we're in all fours. Anytime you do an arm balance, anytime you're in down dog, and there's a lot of down dogs, a lot of push-ups. So think about all the weight into your hands. We take them for granted every single day. So, also, if you know anybody who has diabetes or maybe is pre-diabetic, so super important to find the circulation in your hands and your feet. I'm sure you guys could guess why. But really important, so if you know anybody, maybe just show them this. You don't have to do all the cool stuff that I'm going to teach you, the glutes, the spine, not today, but another time. But if you just do your hands and your feet, you're going to be that much better off. So you guys can go slow or fast, just try to hit all areas of your hand. Maybe do the back of your hand if that feels good. Good, and then go ahead and scribble. So just go a little bit faster. Yeah, like you have a crayon and you're just kind of scribbling up, down, side to side. Great, you guys. And then put your tennis ball to the side just for a moment. Come back to all fours and feel your right hand versus the left. So for me, it's very obvious, but maybe for you, not so much. It should just feel lighter, and maybe there's a different sensation there. Okay, maybe it feels like it's floating in air. And then you'll just come back over into a seat. So when I do a comfortable seat, I don't get to lean in as much when a leg is crossed in front. So I usually just extend one out. It's up to you. Go to your other hand and do all the same things that you did on the other side. Make sure to get through each finger. Oh yes, I forgot to show you guys. So for the hands and the feet, eventually I'm going to give them all to you. I've been so busy, I have not had a chance to get out to do any shopping. But a super ball, you guys know, those little super balls that cats and kids like to play with. That is the best size of ball for your hands and your feet, because it can really get into all the small places. We have tennis balls, and that is better than nothing, but those super balls are really, really great. And they're a little bit harder too, so keep that in mind. Did you guys notice a difference? Anybody who hasn't done this before, a difference in your hand? good. I mean, if it feels good to you, it might not. So be easy there, especially if you've never done this kind of thing before. But just imagine the fascia, the connective tissue. It's from the crown of the head all the way down to your toes and everywhere in between. So healthy fascia is like this, like your palms when you slide them so they can slide and glide. And unhealthy fascia is if you would take the backs of your hands and rub, you can already tell it's not very slidey and glidey. It's got those knuckles, kind of bumps, and so that's unhealthy tissue. So we want to be able to slide and glide. Right? Just take a couple more breaths while you do this. Anything in your hand that feels good. Maybe you have one hand that needs it more than the other. Great, guys. And then just go ahead and scribble. And when we scribble, we don't care what it looks like, right? So just go ahead and scribble side to side, forward, back, circles, doesn't matter. All right, and then you can take your ball off to the side. So we won't see that ball for a little while. Just come on over, take one block towards the top of the mat and keep one towards the back. And then just plant your hands, so coming into that all fours position. Now feel your hands now. Maybe the right and left feel evened up. You just notice a really big difference. Maybe it's more subtle, and that's okay too. So knees underneath hips. Let's curl our toes under here, just giving our feet an extra little stretch in these cat-cows. Dip your belly down, reach your collarbones to the front, and look up, lift up on the inhale. And then exhale to round, tuck your tail, work through your spine, and if you want to sit back a little bit towards that child's pose, kind of exaggerating these cat-cows, you can get that stretch for your feet. If it's too much, just uncurl the toes. Good, so finding your breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Really try to exaggerate. So on the inhales, reaching your collarbones through, your heart through, dip your belly down a lot. And then as you exhale, really pulling the belly up as if you're toning the abdomen just by doing this exercise. And you are. Do 2 more rounds. One more round of cat-cat. Good, exhale. All right, we'll come back to that neutral position. And then from here, untuck your toes. Just extend your right leg behind you. Good, before we get really long, take your left hand to your belly and see if you can pull it up even more. Draw your navel in towards your spine. Your right toes face the ground. That leg is so long that there's no bend in the knee. And then same thing with your left arm. Try to take the bend out of your elbow. Reach as if someone's pulling you in opposite directions. When you exhale, tap your left elbow to your right knee. Good, just 2 more. Inhale for length, really get out there. And then exhale, pull it in nice and tight. Last one, inhale for length. Good, exhale to squeeze. Reach all the way out. You can stay here or bend your right knee and reach back with your left hand and just see if there's anything there to grab. Maybe you just touch your palm to the sole of the foot. That makes it more active. If you want to grab something, go ahead. Think about your shoulder and your hip that we're opening those. And maybe take your gaze towards the left. See if you can find your foot. One more kick up into whatever you're holding on to. And then slowly releasing. Find that length, that mindful movement of coming out carefully, slowly. Plant your left hand and send your right leg out to the side. So we'll have a few things here. We're going to walk our hands back towards that right knee. Make sure your big toe and your knee are in the same plane. Drop your right hand down, lift your left arm, and fold to the right. So more side body stretching like our crescent moon gate pose. And so think about your neck here. You can always gaze up, but you could also gaze down. So do what feels best. Deep breaths in and out. Good, and then inhale, come all the way up. You're going to drop your left hand to the ground, keep your right foot on the ground, and then just reach your right arm up and over. So it's like our extended side angle pose. Really press into the outer edge of your right foot. Again, gaze could be up underneath your right arm, or it can be down towards your left hand. You decide. And then pull your belly in, and let's float the arm and the leg. So arm will lift up towards the sky, foot lifts, flex through your right foot. Stay here, or maybe a bind, bending into your right knee. You can reach back there, see if there's anything to grab. It might even just be your pants. Great job, you guys. Lengthen all the way back out. Good, and then we'll lower that right foot, your right hand, come all the way up, and just one more time, fold to the right, and notice how much easier it is that second time around. Good, and now we'll plant our hands to the ground. Leave your right leg where it is, and we'll find a one-legged child's pose. So sinking your hips over that left heel. You can stay up higher if you need. You can rest your head onto a block if you'd like, or all the way down. Breathing into your right leg here. Feel free to sigh anything out, stale air, stale energy. You don't have to wait for me to say. One more round of breath here. How much can you soften? Can you relax your shoulders and melt your chest? And then just slowly bring yourself back out. Draw your right leg in. Let's take one round of cat-cow before we go to the other side. Hip tilt, look up and lift that. Exhale, pull your belly in, tuck your tail and round. Come back to that neutral tabletop and then extend your left leg long. Toes face the ground. Get really long in that leg before you reach your right arm forward. Take your right hand to your belly and just notice if you can pull up a little bit more. Good, reach it all the way out. Take an inhale, look for length. And then as you exhale, right elbow, left knee, pull your belly in, squeeze. 2 more with your own breath. Get as long as you possibly can and then as small as you possibly can. Good, lengthen out. Feel free to stay right here. This is a challenging balance in itself. Or if you want to bend your left knee, you can reach back with your right hand. Again, if you can't reach anything, that's okay. Reach your arm really long, squeeze your heel in towards your glute and just make it a little more active. Once you take a bind and you grab something, it does become more passive. You can lift your gaze a little bit or you can gaze towards the right, maybe look for your foot. Good, let's lengthen all the way back out. Slowly, carefully, that is your muscle control. Good, and then we're gonna plant our right hand. Take your left leg out to the side. The blocks might be in the way. Just walk your hands back towards that knee. And so left hand will go to left thigh. Okay, your left foot can go up or it can face forward. It's whatever your ankle wants to do. Lift your right arm up and fold to the left. Gazing up or down is your choice. Don't hold your breath. Good, and then inhale, come all the way up. We're gonna kind of teeter-totter the body towards the right, but keeping your left foot down. Just plant your right hand, sort of extended side angle. Lengthen your left arm all the way up and over. And again, gaze could be up or down here. Just honor your neck. With your next inhale, lift the arm and the leg. Take your time. Find your stability here. You can stay. Reaching really long through that left leg, or you can bend the knee and see if there's anything there to bind with. Almost making it like a back bend. So lean back a little bit. Kicking your foot into your hand or your ankle, whatever you have there. Good, let's re-lengthen. Good, we're gonna teeter-totter now all the way back over to the left. Plant your left hand one more time so it feels so much nicer the second time around. Good, and then come all the way back up, plant your hands. You can leave your left leg out there, and then we'll sink back for that one-legged child's pose. You can stay up high if you need, come down low. You can even tuck your right toes under and go into broken toe pose if you like. And just bigger stretch for the foot if you want it. Enjoy this little pause. One more round of breath. Good, and then slowly come back up. Let's draw our left knee in. From here, we're gonna tuck our toes, come into our floating tabletop. So before you hover the knees, pull your belly in a lot. Lengthen your spine, get really strong in your arms so they're not bending. Tuck your toes and just float your knees away from the ground. Just notice how it makes your core work a little harder and also your legs. And then from here, just shift forward and back a couple times. And if this is hard on the knees, just lift your hips a little higher. You can still do that same thing, just kind of that transfer of weight from your hands to your feet. And then sink your hips back towards your heels, maybe a little or a lot. And then 1 inch by inch, you can slowly start to lift your legs into your first downward facing dog. Once you get to that inverted V shape, go ahead and pedal it out. You might need a longer stance or a shorter stance. Think about your shoulders and your hamstrings. Also the hands and the feet, we want to have equal weight between the four of them. So not leaning too far forward, push the weight back almost. You might lift your toes if your heels are able to touch the ground to see how that stretch feels. You might lift your heels really high and just get out any pops and cracks in your ankles, your feet. All right, once you've kind of shifted things out a little bit, shaking your head, no and yes, then let's settle into this down dog. Just 3 rounds of breath here, and once you set it up, try not to move. You can even just close your eyes here. Just the breath coming in and out. Pull your belly in a lot. All right, guys, we have our little twisted little flow here. So lift high up onto your tippy toes. Drop the hips and the heels towards the right. Stay with straight legs for 1 full round of breath. Lift your left sit bone a bit higher. Really push into the ground with your right hand. And stay longer if you want, or bend your knees. Don't think about which knee goes on top. It doesn't matter. Your body's going to do it naturally anyway. But think about rotating your left rib cage up towards the sky. And then from this position, legs, everything stays the same. You're just going to shift your body forward so both hands stay on the ground. It's this sort of side plank, but with both hands on the ground. Very challenging, good work for your obliques. And now we'll just lift the hips and heels, come back to down dog, pause there, pedal it out if you need. Shake your head, readjust your hands and your feet. And so feet about hip distance apart, and then we'll go to the other side. So lift onto your tippy toes. Hips and heels will fall towards the left. Don't worry, the heels do not have to touch the ground there. Just stay with straight legs and see if you can lift your right sit bone a little bit higher. Stay longer if you want, or bend your knees. And when you bend your knees, you think about rotating your right rib cage up towards the sky. Good. And then lengthen your body forward just as you are. Don't think too much. Just lengthen out. You're only here for a beat. Good. Hips and heels go high, downward facing. All right, you guys, from here, let's walk our hands back towards our feet. We'll find a nice, easy ragdoll. So feet a little bit wider than your hips. Clasp opposite elbows and let your body be super heavy. For this brief moment that you do not have to hold your head up, don't do it. Just hang. You can sway from side to side. You can imagine that opening at the crown of the head. And right now, with your head down, you're just dropping out all of the stress, the tension, the worry, the confusion, any doubt, anger, all the yucky stuff. Just let it fall out. All right, then let's release our grip and come rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Just stack your spine, take your time. You can adjust your clothes on the way. And if you need a drink at the top, go ahead and get a drink of water. We're going to use our tennis ball next. And we have lots of bars in this room. So if you need a bar, maybe for balance, please feel free. You don't have to use it, though. You can stay right out here. It's just a little more balance work for you. So one thing about these tennis balls, you got to put a little pressure on it with your foot, otherwise it just will slip right out underneath. And they might slip out anyway. You just go get it if it goes out. It happens to everybody. So you can take your hands to your hips if you want. Same thing we did with our hands, but really be aware of your feet here. The outer edges, the inner arches, a particularly tender spot for me. But I do like to roll it, especially if you guys are on your feet a lot, or even if you're not. If you're seated a lot and the blood is just pooling to your feet, you definitely need to shift things around. Then don't forget your toes too. We'll be here for a couple minutes, so you have plenty of time, but you can like put your big toe and your second toe up on the ball and get that big stretch. And then just kind of move your toes down. Second toe, third and fourth. It gets a little more challenging when you get towards that baby toe and they're really little tiny. So any stretch that feels good there. Yeah, if there's a particularly spot that needs a little bit more, then feel free to stay a little longer there. Don't forget the heel though. Think about how much weight you put into your heels all the time. Does this hurt anybody? Does it feel good? Okay. Yeah, it's so such an easy thing for us to do. All right, you guys, and then all that you're going to do is just kind of scribble, which might be a little bit harder with the foot. Just kind of scribble. Doesn't matter what it final product will be the same, which we have released some sticky stuff in our feet. Good, and then just go ahead and come off that ball and stand on your 2 feet. It's not a huge difference. So you should feel a difference in your right than your left. Maybe it just feels lighter, maybe it just feels different. Okay, let's go to the other side. So we had been talking about plantar fasciitis the other day when I did this with you guys. So has anybody else had that in here?
Oh.
Yeah, or yes. So unbelievably painful, right? You don't know unless you have it. But one of the exercises for that is to roll your foot on a golf ball. Now, golf balls are really hard. But it'll break up a lot of that cordy, that kind of knotty stuff that you might be feeling even now. Don't forget your toes. You can take that little toe stretch. And so this might be challenging or it might be easy. Either way, it's really, really good for you. Good. Don't forget your heel back there, so try to cover all the edges of your foot. And then just go ahead and scribble. Yeah, awesome job, you guys. Okay, so then you can let your ball roll off to the side. I'll collect them later, so it doesn't matter if they roll completely away. But let's start at the back of the mat then. Just stand firmly on your own 2 feet. Good, and then we'll find our mountain pose. And so in mountain pose, you want to stack everything. So the shoulders are over the hips are over the heels. Put a little bend into your knees. Take some pressure off there. Rotate your inner thighs towards the back. Pick up all 10 toes and spread them out, and then bring your hands together at heart center. So samastiti, the balance between right and left. So I just want you to notice the difference now from right to left, if there is any, from your right hand to your left hand, your right foot to your left foot. Bring yourself back around into the intention that you set. Right, and then we're going to add some more movement. So if you would, inhale, circle, sweep, lift your arms, maybe a back bend at the top if you like, or just reach really tall. And then exhale, give it away. Heaven meets earth. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Pull your belly in a lot. Push your hands into your shins to lengthen your spine. Good, and then pull your belly in even more as you exhale and forward fold. Just do that 2 more times for yourself. Inhale, belly in, lengthen. Exhale, belly in more, fold. 1 more time. And as you fold, in any of these forward folds, you think about spreading those sit bones nice and wide, so giving lots of space there in the back body. And then from here, let's just walk our hands all the way back out, and you can find your down dog. You've been there before, so just see how this second time around feels. Any movement you need to make, go ahead and move. All right, let's bring the big toes to touch here, and we'll sweep our right leg to the sky. You can bend the knee and open the hip. Any circles that you would like to move with the ankle or the knee, please feel free to do here. Just find your twist, your stack. It should feel good. Good, and re-lengthen that right leg. Just 3 core planks. Right knee, right elbow or tricep. Shift forward. Tap if you can. Good, take the leg up even higher. Right knee, left elbow or tricep. Twist and tap. Last one, reach high. Knee to nose. Good, and then we're gonna step it through. Today we'll come into Bhanurasana. So build your pose from the ground up. Maybe just come onto your fingertips, lift your back heel really high, and then send your arms behind you. So you come up to a 45-degree angle. Pull the right hip back, your left hip forward. Trust your legs and your feet. You guys got this. Good. And just gaze over the tip of the nose or the top of the mat. Like you're gonna cross that finish line. Pull your belly up a lot. Squeeze your triceps back there. Lift your hands a little higher than your hips like you're going to take off. Good, and then with our next inhale, reach your arms forward. And on the exhale, lift all the way up. High crescent lunge. If you want a back bend, you can lean back there. Think more lift, and then a lean. And then we'll bring our hands together at heart center. Good, again, leaning forward. Feel free to stay right here. You do not have to do the twist, but you do have to pull your belly up a lot. Or twist left elbow outside of your right thigh or knee. And press your palms together. Help pry yourself open. Gaze could be down, or maybe the gaze goes up. Trust your legs. Lengthen your spine. If you want to open your arms here, you can open your arms. Big breath in. breath out. Good, lower both hands to frame that right foot. Come down to your left knee and let's shift it back and find our hamstring stretch. So I think it's nice to sit on a block underneath your right glute, but you don't have to. It's just a little more supportive. It doesn't mean you get any less of a stretch. It might help you get into your hamstring even more. Lengthen the upper body forward. Find just a little length in your spine, and then go for the obvious leg stretch. Pull the toes back towards the nose. So half split or Hanuman pose. Enjoy this little pause. Use the exhales to bring the heart rate down. So put a little more effort into the exhale, all the way out to the very bottom, maybe a little squeeze into your belly. One more round of breath here. Now from here, we're going to come into a low runner's lunge with a twist and then a side plank. So you're just going to walk forward, plant your right foot. Leave your left hand down, tuck your left toes under, and really charge up that back leg as if it has a pull in it so you can't bend the knee. Spin your belly towards your right thigh, and then reach your right arm up. So from here, coming into any variation of a side plank that you'd like. So I like to just start by walking my right foot, kind of heel toeing it down the mat. Eventually you're on the edge of your left foot, and you can step back and stack your right. You can stagger your feet. That's a really nice way to go too. You could take a tree pose, planting your right foot on your left leg. Anything goes with the arm too. Any circle that you want to do with the arm. You can always drop your bottom knee. Good. And then let's come back around to a full plank. We'll drop to our knees here, long spine, elbows in as you lower all the way down to your belly. So from here, finding a baby cobra or a full upward facing dog, just press into the tops of the feet, the kneecaps lift. You can lift head, neck, shoulders, pull your belly away from the mat. It's still gonna rest there, but pull it up and lift. Or you can press into your hands all the way, find a little bit deeper of a back bend. Good, and let's sit back, child's pose. Take your knees as wide as your mat. So after this child's pose, we'll come back to down dog. We'll do all of that to the other side. And then we'll start our descent already. It went by so fast. Deep inhales and exhales. Maybe sigh something away. Stay as you are in the center. Or take a little walk with your upper body to the right. Stack your left hand on top of the right if you can. Push your hands into the ground and root your left hip back towards that left heel. So getting that really long line on your left side. Couple breaths in and out there. Good. Come through the center. If you went to one side, go to the other side. Plant your right hand on top of the left. Or if you already went that side, go to the other side. Just push down into the ground with your hands and see if you can root your right hip back to the heel. Rest your head into your arms. Great, and then let's make our way back through center. When you're ready, come back to your downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, pedal it out. Eventually bringing your big toes to touch so we can go to the other side. This time it's left leg reaches up towards the sky, bend the knee and open your hip. So if this is your stretch, a little or a lot is fine. Circle through the ankle or maybe a couple big circles with your knee. Just remember, when you circle with your knee, we're getting into our hip. It's kind of hard to circle from the hip, so we say the knee. And then re-lengthen that left leg. Let's do our 3 core planks. Left knee, left elbow, or tricep tap. Good. And then reach all the way up. Lots of pops and cracks today. Left knee, right elbow, or tricep. Try to tap if you can. Good. One more time. Reach the leg high. Knee to nose. And then you can step that left foot down. Good. Build your pose from the ground up. So be your architect here. Back heel lifts really high. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. And then you can send your arms behind you. So hands a little bit higher than your hips if possible. Or on this side, if you want to interlace your hands back there, open the chest a bit more. Please feel free. Back heel really lifted high. our arms forward on the next inhale. On the exhale, lift all the way up, maybe find that back bend. Good, and then hands will come together at heart center, and you can stay right here with just a little lean. This is really hard to hold too. Pull your belly up a lot. Or you can take your twist. Right elbow, left thigh. So your gaze can stay over your left foot, or maybe it goes up towards the sky or just to the left. If you want to open your arms here, you can do that. Back leg supercharged. Lengthen your spine. One more big breath in. Good. Exhale, slowly release. Come out carefully. Plant both hands on either side of your left foot. And then shift your hips back. So your hamstring stretch. If you have full splits in your practice and you want to do full splits, please feel free. This is your half split, which is good enough. And then just drape your upper body over that left leg. Pull the toes back towards your face. Melt your chest, relax your shoulders. You guys are doing great. We're almost there. One more big breath in and a bigger breath out. Pull your belly in on the exhale. Fold a little bit more. All right, you guys, from here we have that low runner's twist that will lead into our side plank. And there's so many options for that side plank. But just planting your right hand, tuck your right toes under. That leg is super long and charged up. Spin your belly towards your left thigh. And then lift up. So think more upward energy than just hanging down. Push up if you can. Good. And then for your side plank, you can always drop your right knee. We've already sort of done that version. You can do this version that we already did. Or you can just start to walk that left foot down your mat. Maybe end up stacking or staggering your feet. And then options to maybe lift your left arm, bicep over the ear. Maybe you float your top leg. Maybe you find a tree pose. If you're going for the tree, really push your bottom leg into the top. So arcing those hips. Good, and then we'll slowly come all the way around. Drop to your knees, and you can take your modified vinyasa here. So elbows in, lower down, baby cobra, or upward facing dog, whatever you want to do here. Be kind to your partner. Quick child's pose, just 2 rounds of breath here. Keep your knees together, bigger back stretch, and reach your arms down by your shins. Catch your breath. Okay, guys, slowly come up. We're going to come over onto our bums, so swing around. And we're going to take a sort of seated pigeon here. So if you would, just lean back into your hands, bend your knees. So you can lean back a lot. You'll get to walk forward in a moment. But you're going to cross your right ankle over that left thigh. So there you are in your figure 4 sort of seated pigeon. And then all you have to do to intensify it is start to walk your hands up. And don't let your focus be on how high you go up. It doesn't matter. Each side's going to be a little bit different. Just guiding that right knee open, and then try to lift tall through your spine so we're not sinking it. Keep that good posture here. All right, now think about this. If you really want to intensify it a little bit more, but you have to keep a tall spine, you can hold on underneath or over the legs. But don't do this. You gotta lift really tall if you're gonna do it. So see what it would take for you to take your hands away from the ground. Maybe a little bit harder. You might have to walk your front foot forward a little bit. That's okay too. Just long spine, close your eyes for a beat. All right, and then you can release your hands back there. Let that right foot go. Let's do the other side. Cross left ankle over right thigh. And then feel free to walk your hands back up. Good. Long spine. Roll those shoulders back. So hands can face in any direction here, whatever's easiest for your wrists. Good, and then if you plan on trying to intensify it by holding on to your inner thigh or your outer thighs or your legs, then just think what would it take. You're gonna have to engage your belly a little bit. Keep the spine really tall. Yeah, you can hold on anywhere. Just lift really tall and maintain your breath. Close your eyes. Good, and then release your hands. And then I just want you guys to drop your legs into a comfortable seat. So last little step for our upper back, and then we're gonna come down. back bend today, but we probably did it some weird way. Extend your arms forward. Just take your right hand over the left, and then take your palms together. Yeah, over. And now you're just gonna round your upper back a lot, like you're trying to make some extra space right between the shoulder blades. Good, and then lift up and let your head drop back. So this is not one of those biceps from your ears thing. Let your head drop back. See, there's a back bend right there. Good, you guys. And then as gracefully as you can, your right elbow is gonna cross over your left, and you'll find your eagle arms, or you can do this too. We're just gonna gaze to the right. Good, gaze to the left. Good, and then just unravel your arms, roll your shoulders out a little bit, go to the other side. So extend your arms straight out in front, this time left over right. So left on top of right, and then just turn your palms to face each other. Round your spine. So really push back like you have a turtle's head going into its shell. Good, and then lift your arms up, baby back bend here, open the throat. And as gracefully as you can, now left elbow will fold on top of the right. You can find your eagle arms or hold opposite shoulders. Relax the shoulders down. Let's drop right ear to right shoulder. Good, bring your head through center carefully. Drop left ear, left shoulder. Back up through center, just release your arms once again, roll it out. Shake out through your wrists. Good job, you guys. Okay, we're gonna make our way down into getting there to Shavasana. So just scoot yourself forward, bring yourself down as slow as you can go. Once your head touches, you can hug your knees in towards your chest. We'll take the shortest spinal twist ever, and then we'll find Shavasana. So just open your arms into a T, drop your knees up and over to the right. Just be there for a moment. This spinal twist is really for that space that we just opened up right between your shoulder blades. Good, and then one at a time, bring your knees through center. Let's drop them up and over to the left. You might gaze over the right arm. Bring your knees back through center. Give yourself one last squeeze. You might pull your forehead up toward your knees. Just pull yourself into the smallest version of you. And then we'll extend the body into Shavasana. So Shavasana, whatever that means to you, a position where you can be completely still. So you might land your body into the imprint that we've already made in the beginning of our practice. You might even go out a little wider. Notice all the space and freedom that we found in our body today. All the release of connected tissue, softening into the muscles. Finding that ease into our ligaments and tendons. And also relaxing that space between our ears. Give yourself your own undivided attention here. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. If you truly loved yourself, you could never hurt another. And that is a quote from Buddha. So ahimsa is the word kindness. And kindness starts with you. And then you can take it with you when you leave your mat and distribute it to everyone who comes in contact with you. Take 3 more of your biggest breaths here, very calming and unhurried breaths. Movements to awaken your body, wiggles, twinkles, swirls, reaches, anything goes here. You don't have to wait for me to direct it. Maybe last minute pause. hops and cracks. And then we'll slowly roll on to our right side. So finding that fetal pose, the pose of new beginnings, you can begin this day again. Maybe it didn't start out the way you wanted to. Change it. Please keep your eyes closed if you can, making your way back into a comfortable seat. Doesn't matter how you land on your mat or what position you take. Just find something with a long spine and hands together at heart center. Thank each and every one of you for showing up, for the commitment to your practice, to your well-being, and letting me be your guide. Let's bow our head or gaze down to our fingertips, just sealing in our practice today together. Recognize the divine within you. Namaste. Thank you all for showing up today. I couldn't be here without you, so I hope you all enjoyed the tennis ball thing. Now you know you can do this at home, but get a super ball. It's even better. They're a little bit harder, a little bit smaller. You can just drop your ball. Thank you very much. Just roll them on over, everybody. That's good. It's okay. I've gotten most of them. Wait, it could bounce back. Good. Still got it. Thanks. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions or comments, too. Hopefully everybody's feeling good. I will be here tomorrow night. I'll be here also Wednesday night at 6:30, so both times 6:30. So if you want to get in a little more yoga before the holiday, great. Otherwise, have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you when I see you. You can leave your blocks and any mats that you borrowed, and we will take care of those. Just remember to take all your stuff with you. How do your hands and feet feel, you guys?
Good.
Is that good?
Very good.
So you missed last week. I was saying I went to a 90-minute roll-in where you spend 90 minutes using, they're special balls. They're not tennis balls, but they're called rad balls. So a little bit harder. And we did hands, feet, and spine.
I've been doing that with the tennis ball on my back for years. It gets the bounce out.
Oh, it does. I know.
I never thought about doing it on my hands.
There's a small doll that you can use for your face. I can't remember what she said we're doing next week, but I'm going to try to go every week, and then I can give you guys those. Okay. But hands and feet, like she said, you do all the time. But she'll see what you do. Oh, you guys definitely. Yeah. Oh, okay. From home? Or? Yes. Yes. Forever? Or were you working from home before?
I was.
Oh, you were.
Yeah, I've been home since March. Yeah, I'm home until at least June.
Yeah,
But I've been technology.
They said June. So you're, yeah, you're used to it.
Nothing changed for me.
My husband was home a lot, so oh, I'm gonna get a drink of water. Oh, I'm gonna. I throw it does, I bet. Yeah, you have to like a set time.
I do.
Okay,
I
walk
do.
break.
I do.
Okay, I drink.
Yeah, I read something. That's been a nice.
Yeah.
It's a lunch break.
So, like, well, that's not that harder than people think like that.
Yeah, because we're trying to make it up. We're trying to get like, and it will be like warm water. Now we're doing the butter fluid.
Ooh, how's that one?
So
It's cold, isn't it?
But I also think
Yes.
Well, yeah, the other
Oh,
one,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
story, her,
Yeah, a lot of stuff's good.
Yeah.
I sent it 2 weeks on this morning, to send it to.
Cool, good for you guys.
Thank
All right, thank you so
you.
much.
I've got 5 pages.
Do you think it's your mask? It seems to be that spot, like where your mask is today. I'm not sure if I should try to stop her. I'm not sure if I should try to stop it for her. What? The iPad's going. Oh, who's doing that?
Oh, I saw it there, and I thought, I hoped I didn't walk in front, I noticed it. and I
Oh, no,
thought,
you're fine. It's
mess
okay.
it
She can
up.
cut all this up. Thank you for coming. Will I see you before?
Yes, I'll be here Wednesday.
Super. I'll see you then.
I'll be here Wednesday too.
Good.
Tomorrow night I'm making food with someone.
Oh, good. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
It'll come.
So I can't, I said I would do that.
I tagged you with something. Did you see that? Gary asked us what.
I had already responded.
Okay.
What word? Okay, that's a good detail.
Okay, well, you have a,
Yes. Will I see you before?
Yeah.
Will you be here Monday night or
I'm gonna come Wednesday. Tomorrow night I'm making
Oh, that's right. Yes, I'll see you Wednesday. I'll be here.
food. So I'll see you Wednesday.
All right, sounds good.
Yes, I was in Charlotte.
Thanks for coming, you guys. Did you feel good?
Yes, I missed last week, we were moving.
Oh my gosh, well, how did that go?
Oh, great, I didn't have Christmas decorations. Yeah. We upgraded, so.
Oh, good for you. Even better.
A lot of empty space, but I've done a good job filling it all in.
That's great. Thank you for coming. If I don't see you before, happy holiday. You too. Thanks. Sorry, watch these vlogs. I was just trying to make it easier for me.
Yeah. Just washed mine yesterday, and I think it shrunk.
I know I had a stack of them I gotta wash, I just throw them on top of the dryer.
Thank you guys for being here. Yes.
But that's better than camera, I guess.
That's why I went out the ladies anymore, I feel like I'm suffocating all the time.
I'm glad it's helping.
See ya.
Bye, you guys. See you tomorrow night.
Take care, have a good Sunday.
Thanks, Greg. You too.